What's up everyone, Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids, and today we're looking at our first Thrunite product as we feature these 5 different lights over 5 different days. This is the Archer 1A V2. This is a very compact little EDC light that you could carry easily in your pocket. You could throw it into a pack, you could throw it into your glove box. I've used this light for quite a bit. I liked it. Some cool features. Let me give you some of the specs. It's got a couple different modes and run times. You have your Firefly setting, which is 0.055 lumens. That's going to run for 408 hours. Your low setting is at 17 lumens. That's going to be for 22 hours. Your medium setting on 75 lumens. That's for 5 hours. And then your high setting is 180 lumens, and that's going to run for 115 minutes. You also have a strobe setting that's 180 lumens, and that's going to run for 3.5 hours. The battery it takes is one AA or a 14500 battery. That neither of those are included. Your max beam distance is 71 meters. It is impact resistant to 2 meters, and it is waterproof up to 1.5 meters. We'll do a couple size comparisons here. First, we'll compare the light to my iPhone 5S inside this OtterBox. The Thrunite light is a little bit taller, and it's about half as wide as the OtterBox. Comparing the Archer 1A V2 to a couple more lights, we've got the 511 ATAC PLX, and then we also have the Streamlight Stylus Pro. Longest, second longest, third longest. Circumference of the Thrunite is definitely the biggest of the 3. Last thing I want to do here before I show you the light in use is to show you the items that come with the actual light. So here's your light, here's your instruction manual with some information. Pretty good. Sometimes you get instruction manuals or information that's just junk. This is actually worth reading. You do get a lanyard, and then you get an extra end cap, and you get an O-ring in there, and here's the box that it comes in. And it does have foam inside there, so it's going to ship nice and safely. Alright, let's show you what the light looks like in use. Alright guys, so I'm outside right now, and I'm going to be testing out the Thrunite Archer 1A V2. And what we're looking at right in front of me is the lowest setting, and it's shining, it's on, it's looking actually at a carriage right in front of me, like one of those jogging strollers right in front of me. So you can't see anything. Let me put it up one notch. Here's your second setting. There's your third brightness, and then your fourth brightness. So back again to the original. Basically your lowest setting, you're not going to be able to see anything. Second, third, and then your highest lumen output. And we'll just walk around here a little bit so you can see what I can see. We got like a rock formation there over on the side of our front porch. You can see some lights of a neighbor off in the distance. Again, on the highest setting we can see everything really well. Let me go to the second setting. So there's your second lumen output. You can see the stairs pretty well. Let me give you some more light. On your third lumen setting, definitely going to be much easier to see. And there's your highest. Looking at the path here, looking out into the front yard. Let's actually walk down the steps. Put this on the third setting. Walking down the steps, looking over to a car that I'm borrowing actually right now. You can actually see some of the lights from downtown there. Again, lowest setting, second, third, and your fourth setting. Right now I'm looking at the fence that goes into my backyard. It's about 45 feet away. And what we have is the lowest setting. You can't see anything. Your second setting, can't really see anything on the camera anyhow. Your third setting, and then your highest setting, once again you can actually see it at that point. And I would say like that's basically the edge of my yard where it starts to go into the woods, and then over here to the house. So right now on the highest setting, I can't pull the camera back anymore, but I can see this entire area of my yard. So from that point over there at the edge of the yard over to, you know, where these this little garden starts with those bushes, that's going to be about 35 feet across, and I can see that whole area quite well. So if there was someone standing anywhere in this side yard right now, I would certainly be able to see them. One thing I want to show you real quick is that I'm on my side yard, and you can basically see some of the moss and the rocks and stuff here. But as far as walking around with this, I'm walking very comfortably, you know, down the little side yard here. You can see a little rock out there in the front yard. Over this way, looking back about the house now. So it definitely gives me enough light to get around, absolutely no problem. If I was walking out to my car, you know, over here, I could light up the entire driveway, I could get into the car and definitely be able to see around if there was anybody or anything outside waiting for me. Alright, we're back here in the studio now. Let's offer you some final thoughts on the Thrunite Archer 1A V2. The first thing I'll say is very compact and very comfortable in the pocket. I like the pocket clip, it rides nicely, and the way it kind of dips out and then dips back, you could certainly set this up on a hat, like on the brim of a hat, and now you've got a light shining out. I would say the one main downside of experience so far is just learning to operate. You got the push button on the end to turn it on, and then this button here to adjust the different settings. So I've had to kind of fiddle to, am I going to hold like this? Am I going to hold like this? What's the different setup I'm going to do when I take the flashlight out and I want to actually turn it on? That takes a little bit of maneuvering, again, because I'm used to almost operating solely from the tail end, the tail cap. So tap it a couple times, or tap it, click it, however you're going to do it. I usually operate just from that thing for most of my lights. So to have that and this button, a little bit of a learning curve, but I've started to pick it up. I do like the fact that it has the firefly setting. I just think that's a great idea. If I'm trying to look at something, not wreck my night vision, something up real close, that's nice to have that as an option. So once again, that very low setting, and then you kind of work your way up in the various lumen settings. So the firefly is 0.055, then 1775, and then 180, and you've got a strobe setting that's built into the light. I don't ever use strobe. I don't really have any need to use it. Even in a self-defense situation, I would use the highest lumen setting to get that light into somebody's face, as opposed to going to the strobe setting. But some people might actually like that. So the thing I like about this is I generally carry my Streamlight Microstream if I want to have a very low profile light, but the Microstream doesn't give you a ton of lumen output, whereas this one gives you up to 180 lumens. I was walking around leaving my office late at night, I think it was last night actually, and it was about 11 o'clock, and so the entire parking lot was dark, and so I basically lit up the entire outside, my car where it was parked, all the different areas with this light quite effectively. So I do like that. Just by the nature of how small it is, you're not going to get a super wide spread on the beam. You got that hot center. But I did see still, like I was mentioning outside in my backyard, in my front yard as I was walking around, there's quite a spread. You got 30, give or take, feet. So it's not like you can see 100 feet on either side, but you've got enough that, if somebody's kind of off in the distance on one side or the other, you're going to be able to make something out and then turn the light and get it, the hot center beam right at whatever you're trying to examine. Now, I don't run a lanyard on almost all of my flashlights, just not a preference of mine, but you do have the loop here for a lanyard. That's a nice additional feature. I also like the fact, just like the kind of size that they made it. Sometimes you get a very compact light like this, and it's a little bit shorter, and so as you're holding it, it's just kind of falling into that center part of your palm. This one, when I grab it, it just is just right for my hand size. So now I can turn the light on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off easily, and it just fits my hand nicely. So I like the fact that it just kind of the size for me is what I'm generally looking for. Again, you're going to be looking, say $30 up to $40, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on where you get it. And I've been very impressed. I've been happy with my Thrunites. Haven't had any issues with them, the different lights that I've used, from the tiniest ones up to some of the larger lights. And so, if there's an issue, I'm going to let you guys know. But at this point, they've functioned well, and I think for the price point, you're getting quite a good deal when you get a Thrunite product. So that's all for the Thrunite Archer 1A V2. If you want to purchase this light, there are links in the description down below, so feel free to use those. And be prepared, we got more Thrunite videos coming out soon. Thanks as always for checking out our videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids on YouTube if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram and Tumblr as well. Take care.